Hello and welcome to Gold and Silver Assets. Today we're going to be talking about gold coins that are not pure gold, and we're going to start with the American Eagle. And you might say, what do you mean American Eagles aren't pure gold? Well, they're actually 22 karat gold, which means that they're an alloy consisting of 91.67% gold, 3% silver and 5.33% copper. So they're therefore not 100% pure gold. Now, I'm not just picking on the American Eagle. There are other coins that are similarly not pure gold. So, for example, we've got the South African karat, which contains gold and copper, and the British sovereign, which is the same. Now, with the British sovereign, the amounts of gold and copper do vary depending on the date of issue. So, a lot of the older coins from, say, the 1800s do have a slightly lesser amount of gold. So you might say, well, on the coin it says it's 1 ounce of fine gold, but if it's only 91.67% gold, does that mean I'm not getting the full amount of gold in my coins? Well, no, that's not true. So the American Eagles actually do weigh more than an ounce. They weigh 1.0909 troy ounces, or 33.93 grams. So that's 9% heavier than the 1 ounce that's written on the coin. And basically the coin does contain 1 ounce if it was pure gold. So does this really matter? Well, there's a number of factors to think about. So one is aesthetics. So having the other metals included in the coin does change how the coin looks in terms of the colour. So with the American Eagle, it's a slightly paler yellow colour compared to a 24 karat coin such as the American Buffalo. The sovereign and the Krugerrands tend to have a slightly pinkish tinge due to the copper content. So it really kind of depends on your personal preference, on the look of the coin. Also, having the other metals included in these coins does affect it in terms of basically they're going to be more prone to what's called toning or tarnishing, which again can affect the colour of the coin. This is not much of a problem when you're looking at 24 karat gold coins. Durability is also another important factor. So we know that 24 karat gold is very soft, but by adding other metals to form a 22 karat gold coin, it makes the coins a lot more durable. And that was the reason that these alloys were formed back in the old days when these coins were actually in circulation. Now, that doesn't mean that the 22 karat coins are not prone to damage. They are, just less so than the pure gold coins. And basically, the softness means that they're prone to getting bent or having scratches or damages. Now, whether this matters, again, it depends on how much you intend to handle the coins. Nowadays, most people who buy these coins tend to keep them in protective casings and tend not to handle them very much. So this might not be an important factor for you. As I mentioned earlier, the 22 karat coins weigh 9.09% more than the 24 karat coins to maintain the same gold content. And this might matter if you're planning to transfer a large amount of coins in terms of transportation, and it could also even have some storage implications. Taxes are also an important factor. So countries do differ in terms of their definitions of investment grade bullion for the purposes of goods and service taxes. So for example, in Australia and New Zealand, the GST is payable for any gold with a purity of less than 99.5%. So what that means is that if you were to transport American Eagles into these countries, then you'd be charged 10% GST in Australia and 15% GST in New Zealand. Now, many countries, including the USA, do use that 99.5% cut-off value for investment grade purity, although in USA they do make an exception for American Eagles since they are legal tender issued by the United States Mint. So if you are thinking that you might need to move your bullion coins between countries in the future, then this might be an important factor to consider. International storage can also be a factor when you're thinking about purity. So in many international jurisdictions, they'll only accept gold for storage with a minimum purity of 99.5%, and that goes back to that investment grade purity definition I mentioned earlier. And so you need to think about this as well if you're thinking of storing your coins internationally. So, does the purity of your gold or coins really matter? Well, overall it depends on what your individual situation is and what factors are going to be important to you and your personal investment strategy. So what does work for you?